Welcome back to the Armchair Generals,
where we talk 40K's news, tactics, and lore.
And so much more. We hope you enjoy the video.
Welcome back to the Armchair Generals. Thank you for joining us today. As always, I am Crash, and with me is El Scotcho.
Hey, guys.
And Nova Star.
How's it going?
And today we have some news on the Plague Marines, the Deathguard. Now, I know none of us are Deathguard players, but it does have some exciting implications for Chaos in general moving forward. But to go over the new Deathguard stuff, so Plague Marines, we all knew that they were going to be getting an extra wound, all the Chaos Marines, just like their Loyalist brethren. But Plague Marines are also getting an additional attack, which is interesting. Their profile is staying largely the same. They're a little bit slower, movement 5, weapon skill, ballistic skill 3, strength 4. They're keeping their toughness 5, which is good. Going up to 2 wounds and 2 attacks. And I think the 2 attacks is really interesting. One, it makes Deathguard much, much better. So for Deathguard players, awesome.
You can correlate that the champions will probably go to 3 attacks apiece.
Yep. But it also has really interesting implications for the rest of the cults, like Khorne Berserkers, Noise Marines, and even Rubric Marines. I don't know if Rubric Marines will get a second melee attack, but it implies they might get some other kind of bonus, some other kind of upgrade. If Plague Marines are getting a second attack, we know Khorne Berserkers are going to get a second attack. That's kind of a given, and I would imagine Noise Marines will. But
seems plausible.
But it seems pretty plausible to me, at least. I think Khorne Berserkers with 2 attack space are going to be terrifying.
Oh yeah, because
you don't have 2 attacks now.
Do they have 2 attacks now? They might.
I'm not sure. I can look it up though.
If they do, they'd probably
They should go to 3 attacks,
which would be even more terrifying. It's been a while since I looked at Chaos Marines in anything approaching earnestness, just because they've been so bad for so long now.
Yeah.
The last time I looked at Khorne Berserkers was when Nova and I were building that really crunchy Chaos list towards the end of 8th edition, which is now not at all usable.
Nope. Yes, they do have 2 base and champion 3, so they go to 3 base and champion 4 with 2 wounds each. That'd be really nice.
And then if they get the +1 for Astartes Chainsword,
I think that's already there in the FAQ. I think they FAQ the Chaos Chainswords to go up, but they need to make their chain axes better.
Yeah, the chain axes. Chain axes are going to have to get an improvement. With chainswords now having an AP of 1, Astartes Chainswords having an AP of 1, there's no reason to take a chain axe over a chainsword now with the. Because chainswords previously gave us +1 attack, but now with that AP of 1, the only thing a chain axe gives you is +1 strength. An extra attack is well worth an extra strength.
Oh yeah,
especially when Khorne Berserkers are already strength 5.
Realistically, they could just give chain axes the old power axe profile.
It's true. +2 strength, 2 AP,
1 AP,
1 AP.
No, I think it was +1 strength, 2 AP.
I don't remember.
But, +1 strength, 2 AP would be pretty solid upgrade. That would be worth considering whether or not to give a Khorne Berserker an Astartes Chainsword or a Chain Axe.
Mm-hmm.
But, for Plague Marines, again, that's awesome. The extra wound, 2 attacks, that's awesome. But I know for us, we were really looking at the implications. And Nova keeps throwing jokes about implications. But we were really looking at the implications for other chaos.
And then when you just roll down into the possess, instead of D3 attacks, a flat 4.
Yes,
so much better.
So much better.
Worth taking. Now they were absolutely not worth the points before.
And it's saying that the Nurgle possessed are going to be T5. So hopefully in the other tomes, actually, I don't think Thousand Sons get possessed because they just made everyone a rubric. So that wouldn't really matter. But hopefully they differentiate the possessed in the normal book too.
It would be cool. I would like to see a differentiation because, they get plague weapons. Their horrifying mutations get plague weapons or get the plague weapon rule for Nurgle. So I would assume Like there'll be maybe a Khorne variation, maybe a Slaanesh variation.
Yeah.
And yeah, all Thousand Sons were turned into Rubric Marines unless they were sorcerers, right? There's no stray Thousand Sons out there all mutated.
Oh, you totally just like paused for a moment. You're like sorcerers, right? And it sounded like you were disconnecting.
Oh, might have had
and then you just stood still. I'm like, is he there?
Might have had a little lag for a moment there.
Yes, there's no Thousand Sons possessed because they're all either rubrics or sorcerers.
Okay. So, and well,
the sorcerers can spawn out, and I don't think they get access to possessed in their codex.
I don't believe so. So,
and it thematically makes sense.
Thematically, it does make sense, but I mean, that alone, getting the flat 4 attacks instead of D3, like completely turns possessed into a unit worth taking.
Yeah, agreed.
I mean, previously D3 attacks, you were going to get an average of 2. Mm-hmm. Not terrible, not great, but yeah.
Well, for the points cost, you could just 10 possessed, you could get like 15 normal Marines. So I'd have taken the normal Marines and gotten the extra attacks. So, but yeah, they're 4 attacks, especially if we see a differentiation for the different gods or.
Well, possessed previously they were strength 5, and they had AP on their weapons and everything like that. So like they were solid with the attacks they got, but the random number of attacks was just very frustrating.
I mean, yeah, they have AP -2 on their attacks. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
See, I remember them. You could make them super scary in Chaos 3.5, but everything was good in Chaos 3.5. There was no bad choices in Chaos 3.5.
It really wasn't.
It was either scary or super scary.
Ever since then, they've been bad, though.
Yeah.
The Chosen Squad of Doom in 3.5 was just disgusting. So for those that didn't play back then, the Chaos Codex that came out, it was the second Codex in 3rd edition, hence 3.5. That Codex broke the game completely.
It was amazing.
It was a fantastic Codex. And if all the other codexes had followed in a very similar vein of power level, would have been great, but they didn't.
No.
But that Codex was fantastic. You could really, like your Chosen Squad could take all kinds of different war gear, all kinds of different demonic gifts and abilities and marks. Like each individual guy could have their own mark. So you could have a Khorne Chosen in the same squad as a Nurgle Chosen. I don't know why you would want to, but you could if you so desired. Every single guy could have was basically a small character with complete customization.
You could, I this might still be a thing, but you could have your Chaos Space Marine squads from 5 to 20 dudes. They were able to back in the day have a bolter, bolt pistol, and close combat weapon, so they competed with Grey Hunters.
Yep.
Your Chaos Lord / Demon Prince was unimaginably customizable.
Yeah.
In fact, so much where it almost became hard to keep track of their stuff.
Yeah.
Because you could have 100 points of war gear, 100 points of demonic abilities, and if you had so many, you were a Demon Prince, and you better model it appropriately. You could do all the 9 Traitor Legions, and they all were very distinct and colorful, and they each only maybe had a page of rules, but in that writing, they were able to just differentiate them so much. Much better than they've done in the past. Well, now they're doing a pretty good job, but much better than previous attempts.
It was super flavorful, and it really leaned into that warband feeling that Chaos Marines have always had in the lore and the fluff.
So Nova, I remember distinctly Nova asking me to play because I was doing pretty well with my Space Wolves back then, and he did not tell me that this was a tournament level army, although now knowing him as long as I have, I should have suspected it.
But that was book and game. Everyone had tournament level armies. That's how we were taught to play.
That's true. But anyhow,
I wasn't taught any different as a Wii Warhammer player.
I had 3 squads of Longfangs and had occupied some cover. He got his squad of Chosen of Khorne into the first Longfang squad, and then proceeded to just literally in one turn munch every group of Longfangs I had on the board because of the old consolidation rules. So
sweeping
it was gross.
Yeah. It was
Khorne Berserker, and just even not just Chosen, but Khorne Berserkers from them were crazy. Crash had a scenario set up to where we had to infiltrate a communications bunker, and it was meant to be like different floors and things. And my Chaos Space Marines are just walking along, and the Khorne Berserkers would just keep killing something, consolidating to the next thing, killing it, consolidating. That they were almost to the objective, and the Chaos Space Marine normal guys, because you couldn't run back then either, you could just walk. Yeah. They weren't even halfway through. And they're like, well, I guess there's nothing for us to do.
Yep. It was an old kill team scenario I set up because we got some kill team rules that were very rudimentary back then, but we played them to death with tons of different scenarios because it was the first time we'd gotten a real narrative kind of thing like that. And yeah, I set up that situation. And yeah, his Khorne Berserkers just kill, sweep, kill, sweep, kill, sweep, kill, sweep. Khorne Berserkers all the way at the end. The Chaos Marines, I don't think they were even halfway there.
No, they weren't even halfway there.
That was
we just called the scenario complete because we're like, there's no point. There's no enemies left, and it's just going to be the Chaos Warriors walking to the controls to activate it so we can land more Chaos forces.
They were fighting orcs.
Were they fighting? I don't know.
There's your problem.
Well, there was a ton of orcs. There wasn't a few orcs. There was a ton of orcs.
It was hallways of orcs. If it was orcs, I don't remember, but I'm sure it was orcs. If Crash said it was orcs, and the Berserkers just mowed through them, literally like a lawnmower on your front yard. That's what it was.
Just like we talk about a blender, and that's exactly what the walls.
It was 5 Khorne Berserkers and 5 Chaos Space Marines. That was my little infiltration band. The Khorne Berserkers just destroyed.
I wish I'd have done 10 Khorne Berserkers.
No, because even then we were smart enough, and Crash was like, okay, you can't just send Khorne Berserkers because they're not going to activate the controls. That's not what they do. I'm like, yeah, you're right. I'll send in a squad of Chaos Space Marines. They'll set up the logistics and actually get the comms tower working so we can land the rest of our forces. Because I remember we had this whole planet. Everyone was set up. I couldn't make it that week. So Crash was like, fine, you can just insurge from the force. We'll pick a spot. You go in. And then one of my scenarios was to get more reinforcements was to invade this comm tower. So I could start landing more of my army on the planet.
See, this is why we need to do Crusade, because we could do stuff like that.
Oh, yeah.
That would actually be kind of cool to weave Crusade in with like kill team missions.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it would. And we had a buddy, I'll name him because he's not on the show, but Ryan, who was playing Necrons. And I think I had a roll of scatter dice for where I landed. And I landed next to him. And his turn, he just moved away. He's like, nope.
Yeah, he noped out. Yeah, you're like, I'm landing right here. And he was like, and he moved his army away so he didn't lose it.
Knowing Ryan the little bit that I do, I can totally see it.
And I mean, he would have been at such a huge advantage because I only had a splinter force in my landing until I went and took that comms tower so I could get the rest in. So if he had attacked me, he would have been, I think, double the points. I would have been 1,000 to 2,000, but he was still like, nope.
He was like, nah, bruh. Nah, not doing it.
Back then, though, if you didn't have your Necron Phalanx going and the We'll Be Back and all that stuff set up proper, you would have ate him alive and caused him to phase out. So,
yeah, I would have known what to target. I'm like, what's your phase out number? That's what I'm going for.
Oh, I hated that. That was because that was always the question when you sat down with a Necron player, which phase out number. So for those that don't know, phase out, back then you counted up the number of models you had. And when you hit 75% of your models gone, your army phased out. So you ignored the monolith, you ignored the destroyers, you ignored all the big nasties, and you just...
No, destroyers were counted because they had the Necron rule. But if you had pariahs, which are really good, they didn't have it. Tomb Spiders, which were good and necessary for repairing dudes, didn't have it. Monolith didn't have it, and the Catan didn't have it.
And so, I mean, you just wiped out most of their models, and then you just eat through the chaff. I mean, literally pour everything into the chaff, and then the army went blink, and
even the units that didn't have it were forced to phase out.
Yeah.
So it was a way to ignore their good stuff, kill their more vulnerable things, or just by either swamping them with sheer force of attacks.
It was just one of those rules that was really, thematic and cool and nifty sounding.
Right.
But
it let them artificially make the Necrons stronger point for point with this big weakness. But the weakness just became too easily to exploit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Because, I mean, it literally became just murder all the warriors.
I mean, especially if you had a squad of the Chaos Raptors with the Mark of Corn. Just start butchering through them. And those are the cool Raptors, the metal ones. Man, I need to bust them out, get them painted.
I mean, the new Raptors are cool, but those
they don't hold a candle on those metal ones.
They have warp veins on their jetpacks.
Oh, the metal ones are so cool.
I miss those old metal ones.
I wish I could actually get them in a plastic or resin sculpt because they're so awkwardly heavy.
They are.
I mean, they all have those theater token coins glued to the bottom of the base. And now they're on wrong size bases because they're all on 25s.
Because the ones you got are the ones that you got from me that I got from you.
Yeah.
Yeah. We glued theater coins for like arcades and stuff. We glued them to the bottom because those dudes fell over all the time.
Didn't you sell those to me at one point too, Nova? Because your mom made you get rid of all your.
Yeah.
My brother tried to paint them up.
Boy, that time when she came in on Ruben saying, "I'm going to summon the Bloodthirster of Corn. He's a great demon." Mom was like, "What? What are you all playing?"
For those that haven't watched our like introduction to our channel videos, both Nova and my mothers were very, very
militantly Christian.
Yeah, they were very strictly Christian.
They're very dogmatic.
Very dogmatic. And anything that wasn't about God or church was gone. And
like I got a toy of a Transformer that was a dragon one year for Christmas, and my dad was so mad. So mad.
Knowing your dad, it's hard to picture him mad. I'm sorry, I've never seen the man angry in any way, shape, or form. So
I have, but yeah, no. Nova's mother did not appreciate hearing the word demon.
Nope.
But
I'm wondering why I got that army so inexpensively. Probably the worst deal you ever made there, Nova.
Probably, because it was a forced deal. It wasn't a deal on my terms.
Now, the last bit of this Plague Marine update is for demon engines. So the Defiler,
so much better.
Yeah, the Defiler's going up to 8-inch movement. What was it before? 7?
Let me pull up its data sheet.
Okay. But its weapon skill and ballistic skill improved. They were previously a 4+. They're going to a 3+, which is a huge boost. And
no, it was an 8.
They were an 8?
Yeah, it was an 8, but its weapon skill and BS is 4, so just dropping to 3 is amazing.
Okay, because GW's article has the 8-inch movement button colored.
Highlighted.
It has it red with the indicating.
I guess it's red because that was one of the degrading stats on the old profile.
Oh, okay.
Because it will degrade from 8 to 6 to 4.
Ah. But yeah, it says the Deathguard's demon engines have pretty much all been improved across the board, so expect to see columns.
Got an extra attack.
Yeah, it got an extra attack.
And its attacks would go down, so it looks like they're not the attacks don't degrade anymore.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So expect to see columns of Myphitic Blight haulers, Plague Burst crawlers trundling over the battlefield. And then it says, just take a look at the profile for the Defiler. So it implies that all the demon engines are getting similar improvements, which means Forge Fiends and Mauler Fiends and all the other cruddy demon engines we've been putting up with should be getting similar improvements.
I have not heard that word in years. Nice. But no, I mean, those, what are those dragon flyers that Chaos have that look so
Eldrakes?
cool? And
Helldrakes.
They look
those
cool.
things,
They're terrible.
And
maybe they'll get worth
they're a
using.
pain to paint. I've actually painted a Helldrake, and it was one of the worst experiences of my life. So much filigree. So
Is it
much
all-
filigree.
I mean, I've had people try to tell me that Helldrakes are good, and nobody has yet to give me a convincing argument as to why Helldrakes are not terrible. The only thing that I can acknowledge they're useful for is to like jump out and hold up parts of the table. But that was in 8th edition. They don't block movement anymore, do they? If they're flying?
I don't think so. No, you have to be hovering to
Well,
block.
they weren't flyers. You could still charge them. They just could fly. They didn't have like the flyer type keyword in 8th.
Well, I'm saying like now you can move over their base freely. You just can't end on their base, correct?
No, because they're not a flyer.
Oh, they're not. Oh,
No,
okay.
they can fly like a jump trooper, and they have a huge move, but they're not classified as like a fighter flyer.
So yeah, so for board control, yeah, you could still zoom one forward, like block off an avenue, you know, especially in the more terrain heavy tables we're seeing. You could zoom one forward and block off a major avenue and force your opponent to blow it up. But
it gets 15 attacks with his scourges. I'm still going on about defilers over here.
no, defilers are going to be, I mean, I already thought defilers were a huge winner in 9th edition. Huge winner, but now they're going to be really, really nasty.
Now they just need a new model.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, a new model would be nice. But that ballistic skill increase makes them significantly better. But the weapon skill increase, I mean, yeah, that 5 attacks, if the Scourge keeps you know the way it is, you get 3 attacks per, you know, so it'd be 15 attacks. Isn't that what you said, Nova? Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah, so
and its attacks don't degrade. Its movement, weapon skill, and BS degrade, where before it was its movement, BS, and attacks degraded.
But
that's strange degrade in the defiler.
But I mean, it looks solid. It looks even better than it was. But again, you know, implications for the rest of the demon engines. I mean, if we see similar upgrades to the rest of the demon engines, that will be really, really awesome.
Oh yeah.
Oh, it'd be so good.
So I mean, yeah, I mean, for Plague Marines, awesome. But we're looking at Chaos in general, and I think these changes we're seeing could really see Chaos Marines, you know, resurge as a competitive army.
I'm glad to see it.
It would be nice to see it. I mean, when was the last time somebody put down a Chaos army and you were scared?
Been a while.
But yeah, I think it would be cool to see the Helldrakes get some improvement. It'd be cool to see the Forge Fiend and the Mauler Fiend get some improvement.
As of right now, I don't think Deathguard have access to Helldrakes, but I hope they do. They should not limit it so much, kind of like now how all the Marines can use just about everything. Like, what is it? Centurions and Storm Ravens and the Flyers. They basically get access to it all. They should do that with the Chaos guys. They should kind of open up their armies a little bit, expand them.
That's actually a good question. Is the Deathguard Codex a supplement or is it a full Codex?
A full Codex. They're staying their own and separate, just like Thousand Suns.
That's interesting, but
I don't like that. I think they should go supplement.
Full-on Codex.
I don't like that.
I'm guessing because if you get a Primarch, you get your own Codex.
maybe.
I don't know.
Actually,
I don't know.
Soul Marines will still be a Codex. Well, one thing being a normal Codex over a supplement is you'll get more lore, which is what lots of people care about.
Well, we'll see how it shakes out. I definitely think I mean, maybe we'll get a World Eater supplement and a Emperor's Children supplement, because they don't really restrict access to a whole lot other than sorcerers for Khorne and Khorne berserkers for Slaanesh. I mean, there's not a ton of restrictions between them,
Right.
So they would probably work better as supplements. But
well, that's only because they haven't brought out like Khorne berserkers riding juggernauts for World Eaters,
which we need.
Super duper Doom Sonic Marines / Terminators. I really don't know.
Sonic Terminators would be really cool.
Sonic Terminators would be cool, like back in 3rd edition.
Get the Sonic. Each one has the Sonic Blaster Rapid Fire 3.
Oh, that'd be nice. But no, Khorne berserkers riding juggernauts. Do it, GW. Do it.
Do it.
Do it. Do it.
Do it.
Do it so bad. It'd be a perfect antithesis to Thunderwolves.
Yeah, Thunderwolf Cavalry.
That would actually be a really cool counterpoint to Thunderwolves. Which, yeah.
You'd be juggernauts of Khorne. It'd be
The
amazing.
only difference would be that the fact that they can't take storm shields.
No, it's just dual chainswords. The dude on top is just like swinging. And then boom, you add in parts so you can make a Khorne berserker lord on a juggernaut, and it's over. Multi-part kit done. Covers HQ, covers a unit type.
Well, and they're riding essentially a little, demon. You could give them an invulnerable save.
Yeah, the juggernaut would have a 5+ from being just a demon.
Give them a 5+ invulnerable save. Yeah, it's not a storm shield, but
it's just like Chaos Sorcerers riding disc get one.
So
their disc is a demon.
So then we need what? Slaaneshi bike riders?
Doom Rider.
Oh no! Isn't he? No. He got beheaded, but his head's still alive.
He was beheaded by Corsair Okan, I believe.
Yeah, his head's still alive though. Kept talking.
I'm not sure.
Because signals from the front line, they mentioned that he was dead now, and so I looked him up, and he got beheaded by Corsair Okan, but his head kept talking after being cut from his body. So I don't think he's dead. But
right.
That would actually be kind of cool to get like Slaaneshi bikers. I mean, Lord knows we haven't gotten anything new in the realm of chaos bikes in ages.
Right.
Yeah.
That would be pretty cool. But I'd still rather have Khorne berserkers riding juggernauts. I won't give it up.
Why not both? ¿Por qué no los dos?
Because it's GW and it's not a Space Marine release.
It's a Chaos Space Marine release, so it has Space Marine in it, sir.
Yeah, that means it's not as well or supported.
I mean, if they would give Chaos Marines the proper model support, I would guarantee they'd go back to being one of the top armies.
Oh yeah,
like they were when we started.
And sales.
Mm-hmm.
I miss the old metal boxy dread for Chaos. It looks so cool.
The old metal what?
The old metal box dread for Chaos looked thousands of times better than the Space Marine version.
Okay, for back in the day, they were both a pain in the rear to put together, though.
Oh, because that one was metal.
They were both metal back then, yeah.
Okay, so when we started, the plastic dread was already out.
Oh,
I do have a metal one of the Space Marine dread.
If someone makes you mad, you just put it in a sock and you swing it around.
It's a weapon. I dropped it on my foot once. That hurt. I've got a pretty high pain tolerance, and that hurt. That thing is heavy.
Yeah,
it's solid. It is. It is literally a solid little brick of pewter. It's. But yeah, the metal one I've got is just close combat arm assault cannon, but no, I'm personally not a fan of the Hellbrute model. Like,
nope.
A technical aspect, yeah, it's a GW model. It's going to look good for when it was made and everything. I mean, it still looks good now, but I'm just saying, technical aspect, like Plague Marines, like some of the newer AdMech stuff, from my opinion, but GW models from a technical aspect are always fantastic, but I don't like the new Hellbrutes. I don't like them. I understand that, you know, it's supposed to be the whole caged demon engine sort of thing, but they're not. They don't. I don't know.
They don't capture the. I mean, it's not a Space Marine or a Chaos Space Marine slowly going insane, trapped in a sarcophagus.
I know a lot of lists are using 3 Hellbrutes, though. You just take them and you fling them down the board, and they charge in and wreck stuff.
Interesting.
But yeah, I'm really excited for what this could mean for Chaos. I mean, I've got significant chunks of a Chaos army. I have Thousand Suns. I really enjoy Chaos. I would love to see Chaos come back to the forefront. You know, it used to be, you know, Space Marines versus Chaos Marines, and that was the main confrontation. And that still is the main confrontation in the lore, but not on the table.
Nope.
Yeah, it's funny. This Deathguard preview came for, can't wait to see what they're going to do for other Chaos.
Yeah. They're like, look at the cool Deathguard, guys. Well, that's cool. I want to see what it means for this.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm excited. Else got you?
I'm curious to see. I think Khorne, could World Eaters / Khorne could become a good counterpoint to Space Wolves / Blood Angels. As far as meta goes, that melee army, Nurgle might be actually a closer match to the way Space Wolves play if their melee abilities are amped up a little bit, because the shoot and stab versus just pure melee blender. But this opens up all kinds of possibilities, and actually Juggernaut riding Khorne Berserkers would be pretty cool. I hate to say it, but I might actually buy some.
Chosen of Khorne on Juggernaut,
because their plastic Juggernaut's an awesome kit. Like, I just think it looks so cool, and they already have mortal Khorne riders for the Slaves of Darkness Chaos Warriors in AOS / back in Fantasy. Just give it a chainsword and put in some power armor. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Just change that STC file just a little bit.
Yeah, it wouldn't be that hard.
It really wouldn't be that hard. We need a new Khorne Berserker model, obviously, and then you just mod that Khorne Berserker model to have slightly different legs to fit on a Juggernaut.
Yeah, you literally take the same torso and put it on new legs.
Yeah.
Boom, Juggernaut kit. GW, I'm already making your marketing for you, and they will sell. Give me a call.
GW, you want Nova to help be your marketing guy. He'll tell you what models to make. People will buy them.
And me and Crash will help unmess up your background material.
Some of it needs it, but
yeah.
All right. Well, we do thank you for joining us today. If you like this video, make sure to smash that like button, hit subscribe, hit the notification bell or the Astronomican bell so that you don't miss any uploads from us. And until next time, we have been the Armchair Generals.
Remember, war is my master and death is my mistress.
I like it.
It's Morgan Ra.
Oh.
Welcome back to the Armchair Generals,
where we talk 40K's news, tactics, and lore.
And so much more. We hope you enjoy the video.